Hello friends, welcome to Gyan Academy. This is your go-to channel for real Power BI interview questions, tricky DAX formulas, Power Query solutions, and data analytic tips that actually help you crack real-world jobs. Today, we are solving one of the most common DAX interview questions: how to calculate sales for the last 3 months regardless of filters or slicers. Let's solve it with logic. Let us see the dataset we have. The sample dataset consists of three columns: order date, sales amount, and category. We will calculate total sales for the last 3 months based on the latest date in the data, not today's date. Let us first import this dataset into Power BI. This is Power BI desktop. Now let us import our Excel dataset into Power BI. Initially, we will go to Get Data option. Into that, we will choose Excel workbook as our data source, followed by the file which is present in the folder. Now, into my folder, it is into downloads, but if you have another folder, you can just open that folder and click and then say open. Let us wait till it imports the data. Just click on sheet 1 and say load. Now if you go the data is loading into Power BI. Let us wait for a second. Now if you check into table view, we have our data wherein there are three different columns: order date, sales amount, and then category. Now let us jump to the problem solution. We will now calculate total sales for the last 3 months based on the latest date in this data, not today's date. Let us first create a measure called as total sales. So when you come here, just right click on the table and say new measure. The measure name I'll say as total sales. The formula is very simple, just summing up the sales amount from the table. So the formula is sum of sales amount. Just select the column from your dataset and then press enter. Once this measure is created, let us check, is it showing us the exact sales amount? Let me just drag this into the sheet and convert this into a card model. Yes, now if you see, it is showing up the sum amount of the total sales. Now we will jump to the interesting part of the question, which is calculating the sales for last 3 months. I am creating a new measure saying as last 3 month sales is equal to calculate. The expression for this is total sales, which we have calculated earlier, comma, into filter part, I will use a function called as DATESINPERIod, into which it asks me for different type of parameters. First parameter is adding column. Now what column we have to add into this? We have a order date into our data set. So let me put the order date over here, order date, comma. Now it is asking me the start date. If you see here, it will show you the parameters what all need for this dates in period. So first one is date, which is our sales order date, and the second one is the start date. Now in our problem, we don't have a start date, but we want the maximum date of our dataset. So I'll use the max function over here, saying as max of order date, max of order date, and I'll just close this. Now what it is doing, it is checking which is the maximum of the order date. Then comma. Now it is asking me number of intervals. Number of intervals I'll put as -3, comma. Then it is asking me the period. Now if you want to have a day, you can go with the day. If you want to have month, you can go with the month. If you have quarter, similarly quarter, and then year. Now in our problem statement, it is regarding the month. So I'll check with the month. And now I'll close my expression and I'll press enter over here. Now we have created the last 3 month sales measure. So if I pull this and put it into card visual, so you can see we have the total sales amount and the last 3 month sales amount. Let me break down this formula for you. Here if you see, we are using calculate. This is the brain of the DAX. It lets us change the filters used to evaluate a measure. Then the total sale. That is the measure we want to calculate. If you check our question, we want to calculate the total sales. So that measure comes in the expression part. Then we have another function called as DATESINPERIOD in the filter part of calculate function. Now this creates the time window. We are saying use the dates from sales order date, start from the latest date in the data, which is nothing but max of sales order date. Then into time interval, go 3 months back and use month as a unit. This is how we calculate last 3 months sales data using DATESINPERIOD function. So here what is happening? We are telling Power BI, give me the total sales for 3 month period ending at the latest date in the dataset, no matter what slicers are selected. Now let us check it is working or no. Let us start with the slicer. I will filter by category or year. So let me pull the category column from my sales data onto this. So if you see, we have a category column. Let me convert this into slicer. So if you check here, we have a slicer for category. Now if I check on this, now you see for the A category, the sales amount is, this is the total sales amount, but this is the last 3 month sales amount. If I go with the category B, the total category B, it is showing you of all the months, but last 3 months, it is showing you different. If this helped you, hit like, subscribe and share it with your team. In the next video, we will solve a real-time running total problem where dates are missing. Stay tuned. This is Data Gyan Academy, building your DAX confidence one problem at a time.